Hello everyone, this is Abhishek Mahanti and welcome to lecture number 20 of the chapter Electric Charge and Field. In this lecture, we'll discuss about another application of Gauss law, which is to find the expression for electric field due to a non-conducting charged solid sphere. And this derivation is not in your board syllabus, but from the entrance point of view, then this formula might be helpful to all of you. That's why I have given a star mark here, because from the board point of view, this is not important. This question will never come in your board examination. So let's start this topic. We have already derived the expression for electric field due to a charged spherical cell by using Gauss law. Uh, so what is the difference between a spherical cell and a solid sphere? In spherical cell, the inside or the interior of the sphere is empty, but in case of a solid sphere, we have matter present throughout the volume of the sphere. And here we have taken a non-conducting sphere, means it is made from a non-metal like glass, rubber, wood, etc. And the charge is distributed uniformly over the entire volume. In case of spherical cell, the charge was distributed over the surface of the cell, but here the charge is distributed over the entire volume of the sphere. So suppose let Q is equal to the total charge on the sphere, and this charge is distributed over the entire volume. And if capital R is the radius of the sphere, then volume of the sphere will be 4 by 3 pi r cube. And the volume charge density rho will be equal to how much? The total charge Q divided by the total volume, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube. This will be equal to 3Q by 4 pi r cube. So this is the volume charge density of the solid sphere. Now we have to find the expression for electric field due to this solid sphere at three different points. The first one is at a point outside the sphere, the next one is at a point on the sphere, and the third one is at a point inside the sphere. So by using Gauss law, we have to derive expression for electric field at these three different points. So before deriving the expression, first let me draw the electric field lines. We know that we know that for a positive charge body, the electric field lines are radially outward. So we have this solid sphere. So this red color arrow mark represent the electric field lines, which are radially outward. And now we have to derive expression for electric field outside the sphere. Outside the sphere. So when we are using Gauss law, we have to consider a closed surface, and that closed surface is known as Gaussian surface. And we have already drawn Gaussian surface in the three applications of Gauss law. So this is not new to us. Let us choose a point P somewhere here, and this point P lies outside the shell. And the distance of this point P from the center O is the center of the solid sphere. The distance of point P from the center of the sphere is R. This distance is R. So we have to find expression for electric field at this point. Now we have to draw the Gaussian surface, and in this case the Gaussian surface will be spherical in shape. So let me draw a Gaussian surface. Draw a Gaussian surface of radius smaller centered at O. It means we have to draw a Gaussian surface whose radius is smaller, and the center will lie at the point O. It means the Gaussian sphere will be like this. The Gaussian sphere and the solid sphere both are concentric. Spheres. Is that clear? So definitely the point P will lie on the surface of the Gaussian sphere. Now we know that the mathematical statement of Gauss law is E dot ds closed surface integration is equal to Q by epsilon naught, where Q is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere. Now you look at this Gaussian sphere, and we have already done this type of problems. If we choose a small element on this Gaussian sphere, then we'll see that electric field and area vector both are parallel to each other at every point. If you choose an element at any point on this Gaussian sphere, you'll see that the electric field and the area vector, they are parallel to each other because both are radially outward. So E dot ds will be how much? It will be E ds cos 0, E ds cos 0, closed surface integration. So that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. What is Q? Q is the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. From in this figure, you can see that the Gaussian sphere completely encloses the solid sphere. It means whatever charge is present on the solid sphere, that amount of charge is also enclosed by the Gaussian sphere. And we have taken capital Q as the charge on the sphere. So we can say that the charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere is also Q. So I can write capital Q by epsilon naught. So cos 0 is 1, and at every point on the Gaussian sphere, electric field will be same because all the points on this Gaussian sphere are equidistant from the solid sphere. So since E is constant at every point on the Gaussian sphere, I can take E outside, then integration ds, closed surface integration ds, that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. That implies E into integration of ds will be how much? It will be the total surface area of the Gaussian sphere, which is 4 pi small r square, that is equal to Q by epsilon naught. That implies E is equal to, or I can add E outside, E out is equal to, take this 4 pi r square to right side, the expression will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square, Q by r square. So this expression resembles to the expression for electric field due to a point charge. Means when you are finding the electric field outside a sphere, you can assume that the total charge of the sphere is concentrated at the center. If you assume that the total charge Q of the sphere is concentrated at the center O, and then the electric field at point P will have this same value. So E outside will be equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by r square. This result is similar to the electric field due to a spherical shell. Now we will talk about the electric field on the sphere, on the surface of sphere, on the surface of sphere. What will be the electric field on the surface of sphere? So now if you bring the point P to the surface of the sphere, then small r will be equal to capital R, small r will be equal to capital R. And now the radius of the Gaussian surface will also be equal to capital R, and that's why the expression for electric field on the surface of the sphere will be how much? Just replace this small r by capital R in the equation 1. This is equation 1. So just replace this small r by capital R, you will get E surface. So that is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by capital R square. This is the expression for electric field on the surface of the solid sphere. Now we have to find the electric field at a point inside the sphere. Let us choose a point, let me change the color here. Okay, let us choose a point P somewhere here. This is the point P, and the point P lies inside the sphere. So if we draw a Gaussian sphere having radius small r, this is small r, this one is small r. Now if you draw a Gaussian sphere of radius small r, then in case of while deriving the expression for electric field inside a spherical shell, the total charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere inside the spherical shell was 0. That's why E inside was 0 in case of a spherical shell. But In case of a solid sphere, the charge is distributed over the volume of the sphere. That's why this green color Gaussian sphere encloses the charge located in this region. Is that clear? So if you find the this value E dot ds integration, then that will be equal to E ds cos 0 closed surface integration, that is equal to E into 4 pi r square, but the electric field, the electric charge, the net charge inside this Gaussian sphere is not 0. So this is the derivation for inside the sphere. Okay, so how to find the charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere or the Gaussian surface? How to find the charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere? So students, we have already derived the expression for the volume charge density. So rho is equal to how much? Rho is equal to this much, 3q by 4 pi r cube. Means in unit volume, the amount of charge present is 3q by 4 pi r cube. So the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface will be how much? Small q is equal to volume charge density rho into volume of this Gaussian sphere. Volume of the Gaussian sphere will be 4 by 3 pi small r cube. And what is what is rho? Rho is 3q by 4 pi r cube. Is that clear? 3q by 4 pi r cube. This is the volume charge density or rho. So multiply this rho with the volume of the Gaussian sphere. So 3 will cancel, 4 pi will cancel. You will get q into small r cube divided by capital R cube. This is the charge present inside the, or charge enclosed by the Gaussian sphere. Now if you use Gauss law, we know that E dot ds closed surface integration is equal to q by epsilon naught. That implies E into 4 pi r square is equal to q r cube by capital R cube. So that implies E is equal to, we have epsilon naught here. Okay, in place of small q I have written q r cube by capital R cube, and here we have epsilon naught. So capital E is equal to how much? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught. So r square and r square will cancel, you'll get r here. So E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r cube into small r. Is that clear? So this is the expression for electric field inside the sphere. So you can see that this term is constant. The total charge q is also constant, and capital R is the radius, which is also constant. So you can see that inside the solid sphere, electric field is directly proportional to small r. Small r means the distance of the point P from the center. So as long as we are inside the sphere, the electric field varies directly with the distance from the center. So these are the expressions for electric field due to a solid sphere at 3 different points. We got the same type of result as the spherical shell in the first case. In the second case, means outside the sphere, on the surface of the sphere, we got the same type of result, but inside the sphere the electric field is not 0. In case of spherical shell, inside the shell electric field is 0, but in case of solid sphere electric field is not 0. So this is the difference. Now let me draw a graph which shows the variation of electric field, with the distance r. So along x-axis we will take the distance small r from the center O, and along y-axis we will take the electric field. And suppose this point belongs to small r equal to capital R. Is that clear? So how can we draw the graph? So this is the origin, which is the center. So when we are moving from the center to the surface, look at the diagram here. When we are moving from the center up to the surface, then what happens? Inside the sphere, electric field is directly proportional to R. Inside the sphere, electric field is directly proportional to R. So from this point up to this point, electric field will increase with distance. Electric field will increase with distance, because this is the expression. Is that clear? Now when you reach on the surface of the sphere, then this is the electric field. 1 by 4 pi epsilon or q by r square is the electric field. So just draw a perpendicular. This value is equal to how much? E equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q by r square. And after that, when you go out of the sphere, then electric field will reduce, electric field will decrease, because this is the expression. With the increase in small r, electric field decreases according to the inverse square law of distance. So beyond the surface of the sphere, electric field decreases like this. So outside the sphere, electric field is inversely proportional to r square. So this is the graph between electric field versus the distance from the center due to a charged spherical non-conducting solid sphere. So students, I hope that all of you have understood this derivation, and again I am repeating that this derivation is not for the board syllabus, but in some entrance exam like NEET and JEE, you may get questions from this topic. So if you are focusing only on board exam, then there is no need to practice it. But if you want to practice it for a knowledge, then it's very good. But this is not coming in your board examination. So that's everything for this class, and I hope that you have enjoyed this class. In the next lecture, I will bring some more concept or some more numericals. So till then, have a nice day and bye bye.